is not a man that he should repent, or the son of man that he should repent. I got that screwed up, but you know what I'm saying. Yahweh is not a man that he should lie, or the son of man that he should repent. So if Yahweh says, if you believe the good news, you're saved. You say, I don't feel saved. I pray to receive Yeshua, but I don't feel saved. Whoop-de-doo. Who told you it had anything to do with your feelings? It has to do with what Yahweh has said about you. So how? How do we stop sinning? How do we stop a particular behavior that is not pleasing to the Father? The same way you escape this world, by falling on His righteousness, by receiving His word and His opinion and His declaration about you. He's saying, hey, guess what, Bubba? Or Bubita, guess what? My children don't sleep around. Really? Really? And I'm sleeping around? Then you mean I'm not behaving like you told me I ought to behave? Well, I love you and you've done so much for me that if you don't, I won't. I receive you. I see your beauty and I don't want to corrupt your beauty. I don't want to corrupt your throne. If you told me I'm like you, make me like you. Let me see the results of being like you in our life, in this life. Let me see those results, and then your behavior will line up with who He said you were. Can I hear a good amen?
Amen.
All you need is love. There's a new way of doing business. The renewed covenant brings us a new way to forsake sin. It is a focus like the jogger, the metaphorical, allegorical jogger, on what Yeshua is doing right and who Yeshua has made you to be. Start to focus in on Yeshua and you won't have time to see the faults in others or yourself. That's what walking in the renewed covenant. You don't think I know my faults? I can make you a list and publish it on the internet. Everybody would go, yeah, that's Rabbi Moshe, You don't think I know my faults? You know your faults. The question is, either I will try to get out of my weaknesses in my own strength, or I'm going to look for a righteousness, a tzedakah, that is not in this world. Yahweh says I'm a prophet. Yahweh says you're a prophet. Right? So I can smoke dope and act like a ghetto child. Or I can stop smoking dope and taking drugs and act like, well, if Yahweh, if you say I'm cool and clean, I better, heck, you're the living, eternal creator, then I'm going to act cool and clean. Your behavior lines up with His opinion.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Todar Rabbi Yahweh. If we focus in on Yeshua, we won't have the time or the need to see our own faults all the time, focusing in on our faults and the faults of everybody around us. That's walking in the renewed covenant, a focus on Him, not on our shortcomings. If we are always hard on ourselves and on others, it is because we are not walking in the power of the renewed covenant. We are not tapping into the perfection of Yeshua. Or as my brother likes to say, if you're always finding faults, I'm not going to Bnei Yeshua synagogue. Really? You're not? No, tell me why, Althea. Tell me why. Did they tell you why they're not coming anymore? Because he and she and them, ellos, ellas, nosotros, él, ella. Well, if you've got all that time, I used to have a lady who used to say, can we talk? I used to have a lady sit in the back. She would check out the skirt length and the head coverings. She'd never worship because she was busy checking everybody else out and then reporting to me after the service. Rabbi Moshe, that's no bueno. That's no good. If you got all that time on your hands to sit in the back and check everybody else out, you will never be molded into the image of Yahweh. You will never be molded into the image of Yeshua because you're not looking for a righteousness apart from man. You're looking at everybody's shortcomings, and if you're finding fault in others because you're hard on yourself, I can guarantee that if you're always finding fault in your husband and your wife, it is because you are too hard on you. You find fault with yourself. You don't like yourself. You haven't yet received the righteousness of Yeshua in those areas of your life. So the renewed covenant doesn't negate the Torah. It gives you a righteousness that is apart from the Torah. You get it apart from the Torah by faith in Yeshua and believe on Yeshua, not in Yeshua. The Catholics believe in Yeshua. The Mormons believe in Yeshua. Diablos believe in Yeshua. No. It is, we believe on Him, meaning it's on Him to pay the rent. It's on Him to raise my children. I'll be used as a conduit, I'll be used as a vessel, but it's on Him. That's what it means to trust. To put it all on Him. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. How can Yeshua say that, and yet sometimes it's hard to be a believer? Yes? Is it not sometimes hard to be a believer? And Yeshua said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So when we're living as a believer and it's very hard and we're always stressed out and anxious and nervous and having panic attacks and anxiety attacks, it's because your yoke and your burden stinks. It's heavy. You can't carry it. If you have a streak of gayness in you, or if you have a streak of covetousness in you, it doesn't matter. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. Lay it down. Don't change yourself. Ask Him to change you.
Amen.
Ask His righteousness to change you. That's how Yeshua can say, my yoke is easy. In other words, the operation that I'm going to put you on is easy. The walk that I'm going to put you on is easy. The lifestyle that I'm going to put you on is easy. If you're not enjoying your relationship with Yeshua, it is because you are trying to achieve victory in your own strength. Nothing makes me happier than being on stage here. And I use the word stage accurately. I see it as a performance. Not as a performance like a Broadway show, but I'm performing for what the thing that I was born to perform, representing Yahweh and speaking His words to His people.
Amen.
When I'm home and I'm isolated, I can be downcast and I have to speak to my soul. You dumb soul. Why are you downcast, oh my soul? But I'm with the people of Yahweh. We're talking word, we're blowing word, we're smoking word, we're hanging word, we're preaching word, we're ministering word, we're painting word. Man, it's easy. And this is what it's supposed to be like. So if you need to change and you're not changing, let me explain to you. Your yoke is difficult and your burden is impossible. Yeshua can change every area of your life that needs to be changed, but it's got to be His yoke and His burden. The Besorah, the good news is we no longer have to focus in on our failures, but we can focus in on who is right, and the one who is right, the one who covers our shortcomings with His glorious robe of righteousness. The righteousness that comes from abiding in Him, it's effortless. Sin leaves your life. You understand how easy it is? It's abiding in Him. It's effortless. Sin leaves your life. You abide in Him. You're the jogger. You've got P. Diddy's out and Yeshua HaMashiach is in. Are you with me?
Amen.
Luther Campbell is out and Yeshua is in. I'm walking with Yeshua, jogging with Yeshua through the way of life, through the walk of life, through the Emunah, the walk of Emunah. And he goes, Moshe, I don't like that. Huh? I don't like that. I don't stop because Yeshua, in my relationship with Yeshua, says, stop that, I don't like that sin, I don't like that behavior. I keep jogging. I say, okay, Yeshua. How can two not walk together if they be agreed? Amos 3:3. Come on and walk together with me. You see? And now it's not just you running the race, it's Yeshua running the race with you. You don't stop. Yeshua says, in your personal relationship with Brit, He says, Brit, this is wrong, blah, 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 blah. This is not pleasing to me, blah, 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 blah. And you stop. You see the jogger stopping? The jogger keeps going, but they do what? They drink, they eat, they listen. That's how we become righteous. We drink His living water, we eat His word, and we only listen to His voice. But we don't stop. Because when we stop, we see our faults, we see our shortcomings, we see our failures. When you are confronted with your shortcomings, you will never come to Shabbat services. You're gone, baby. You're in New Zealand. If I stop long enough to say, well, if I stop long enough to see my failures and my shortcomings as a prerequisite to minister to Bisola con microphone, yo soy funny. If it depended on me being whitewashed, whistle clean, in my mind and my heart, to elevate this Kadosh Bima, I'd never show up, I'd never preach, I'd never write an article. How do you do all these things for Yahweh? You see yourself as He sees you. You tap into His righteousness. I said His righteousness.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh.
His tzedakah. He doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the call. I love it. We focus in on He who is right. We focus in on Him who declared us to be right. My teacher said I would never amount to anything. How many had a teacher like that? My teacher said I was a failure. My father said I was a fat orangutan. He said it with a Yiddish accent. My mother said she'd be in the bathroom with a razor blade saying, I'm going to kill myself. I said, Mom, why? Because of you. Everywhere I turn, you're the same way. You've got the same family. Most of us, not all. Oh, you're a bum. You're a loser. You'll never amount to anything. You're the black sheep of the family, even though I'm white. You're dead in the water. Don't even give it a chance. Forget about it. You, your future, your past, forget about it. For your Italian family, forget about it. Yo, Tony, slow down. What's the matter with you? Capiche? You're nobody. Capiche? You're nothing. And then here comes this Yeshua jogger who wants to jog with us, and he goes, holy, blameless, beautiful, in the process of being changed. But take my yoke, take my burden. The same righteousness that brought you into the kingdom will get rid of that stuff in your life that's not pleasing to me. Walking with Yeshua should be fun. It should be easy. You don't think it's fun to get rid of sin in your life? Because when you get rid of sin, guess who you're kicking out of your life? The one who invented the stuff. He invented the stuff that's denying Him access to our lives. It's like golf. I could sit there at the tee and take another mulligan. What's a mulligan? Another shot because I screwed up the first shot. Then I take another mulligan. And then I don't like that shot, so I keep staying at the tee. In the meantime, the Jewish folks behind me going, hurry up, you bum! What you doing taking 10 shots? Because I'm so hard on myself. Or I can go to the next hole, the 5th. I screwed up on the 5th, and I can go to the 6th and focus in on the next tee shot and say, Yeshua, glorify yourself through me. Now my yoke is easy, my burden is light, Yeshua said. We take all our energy and we refocus. I'm telling you how to overcome sin. This is not a secret. This is not a genie in a bottle. The secret's out. This is how to overcome our sin. We take our focus and our energy not on what we're doing wrong and what everybody around us is doing wrong and all the hypocrisy and the leaven about everybody's doing wrong. Did Yeshua hang out with the Pharisees? No, because He knew they were hypocrites. With the Prushim, He rather what? Imparted His righteousness to His Talmidim instead of trying to fix everybody. Did Yeshua hang around the Prushim and the Tzaddukim trying to fix everybody? No. He made those who were His Talmidim like Him. You know, Yeshua didn't try to fix anybody. They came to Him to be fixed.
Amen.
He didn't hang out trying to fix everybody. And if you're always trying to fix everybody, you don't have a good relationship with Yeshua. You've got too much time on your hands. Well, Rabbi, they're going to leave the congregation. Bye. Hasta luego. Bueno. I love you. I loved you while I had you. I didn't bring you here. I can't keep you here. It's not my congregation. It's Yahweh's congregation. So I can sit here and go, I can make a list. And sometimes I do it and Rivka says, stop it. And stop being hard on yourself. I make a list of everybody who left. Raul's not here. This one's not here. I love Raul. Maybe I should call him. This one's not here. I beat myself up sometimes. Or is it just you? And Yahweh says, stop. It's my yoke is easy. My burden is light. You keep tapping into my righteousness. Not the puddle, not the curb, and then I'll change. The circumstance may not change, but he'll change me and you in the circumstance. The circumstance may not change, but he will change me and he will change you in the circumstance. That's what his righteousness means. Can I get a good amen?
Amen.
So let's take our energy and refocus on Yahshua. What he's doing right, not what we're doing wrong, what everybody else is doing wrong. Focus on the one who is right, and all things will fall into place. Only he can lead us to purity and truth. That's the good news. He who begun a good work, Philippians 1:6, will what? Perform it until the day of Mashiach Yeshua. He who began it is the one who can purify you. The one who has forgiven you is the one who can. That is our hope. That is our hope. We want to be pure like he's pure. Be ye kadosh, even as I am kadosh. But how? The one who saved us is the only one who can purify us. The only one. Not the phone call, not the email, not the fax, not the arm twisting, not the pressure. He alone can change us. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. Has he forgiven you? That means he can purify you. Did you forgive yourself? That means you cannot change yourself. You cannot purify yourself. Cardinal sin in the life of a believer is trying to change. Give up. Give up trying to change. And ask for his righteousness to come upon you. Fall in love with his Kedoshah. Fall in love with his holiness. Fall in love with his purity. Fall in love and familiarize yourself